And it's Mike to go first.
Now, back in the day, Mike would have had a 5-letter word here that he no longer has available because the squaw would have been playable. But of course, it came out of the word list with the expurgation.
Yes, indeed. Interesting side note, just to begin with, I see Mike is wearing earbuds. I assume he's maybe got some white noise in there, or maybe even some music or some kind of ambient soundscape. Is that something you've ever tried, Stuart?
No, and certainly not. No, I'm not quite sure what the reasoning behind that is. Mike's opted for more here. Now, he did have an obvious 48-point play there, which was Quats, but it leaves a rather unattractive MW. He may not like leaving the idea of his initials, MW, because it's not actually a great combination. But Moore, on the other hand, only scores 16 points as opposed to 48, but it keeps STQU. I have to say, I'd just take Cats here myself. 48's just too many to turn down. Now, I couldn't see Ellie's rack there. She's a little bit off-centre. So she has played fixed, but we don't quite know what the other letters were, unfortunately. Let's see whether that can be adjusted, perhaps. She may not realise, of course, that she has knocked it. For those who are not aware, Ellie is a visually impaired player. So we will be a little bit understanding if perhaps she doesn't realise her rack is a little bit off-centre there. We'll focus on Mike Willis's plays, I think, for now.
Yeah, and we've got our producer Ruth on the ground who can hear us, so she will be fixing the rack as and when we need. It looks like Ellie kept G, I, and something else, so presumably not a bad play. Scoring with the X, getting rid of at least one of the I's. So yes, back to Mike.
Just need to see what that last tile is on her rack.
Hi, Stuart. Thank you for taking the reins there.
No problem. Just trying to establish what Ellie's rack is here because we can only see 6 of the tiles. It's just a little bit off-centre at the minute, and She's not one for shuffling her tiles around on her rack too much. I guess when you're visually impaired, it's not much of a benefit to anagram them in front of you, but it does mean it's a little bit harder for us to see what she's got. L is the other tile there. So CHILNTV, Ellie's rack. She's gone for lunch. Can't blame her. It's never too late for lunch. That is the highest scoring play that she has available there. For rack leave, she could have considered playing Vint and Morn instead, which would have kept CHL, but personally, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with lunch in that situation. Mike, double tiles here. Double E, double O, NRS. Never really what you want to see. However, he has now got a playable bonus. And it's a tricky one. He needs to look along the bottom row. Joseph, I'll just check you can hear me there, because both yours and Ruth's camera off. Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
So yeah, there is an 8-letter play here off of the H, and Mike unfortunately is missing it. He could have gone for honorees. HONOREES was the play there. If you don't spot that, then ditching OE on VO is a pretty reasonable alternative, just because it undoubles your doubles, and ENORS is a pretty solid rack leave. But honorees was the play.
Stuart, do we know, without me having checked, whether bathing takes the S?
Once again, we can see 6. Yeah, while you were off stream there, we didn't establish bathing does take the S. Mike kept an S with Irva, so Irva's or Varus would have scored him 42. But as I said at the time, you weren't with us. ING S words are the bane of Scrabble players' existences, knowing which ones take S and which ones don't. Still trying to establish what Ellie's rack is here. She has gone.
So Ellie has changed IIV.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. So we're back to Mike with presumably a fairly straightforward play here. I doubt he's got anything better, unless, of course, bathing takes the S.
Bathing, absolutely, as I've already said, does take the S. So yes, that would be a massive play for Mike if he knew the S here. I'm just.
Do you think in this position he should have just punted on it?
Well, it would have been massive, wouldn't it? It would have been massive. So that's, it's a hard miss. But if you've got a safe spot for it, of course, sometimes you're better to go for that. The difference is enormous, though. J2 spot scored 76. If he played it as a double-double with bathing, it's 112. So that is a huge difference. He did have a couple of other spots as well. Max and OW would have scored him 3 points more for 79. Or more. MAW has taken R hook, so he had the lower spot there, but that would have definitely been worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, on the one hand, he's got the bonus down. On the other hand, he has missed playing the same word on the column to the right for 36 more points.
Stuart, just as a side note, outside of commentary, are you saving the live game? I've only just realised we've still got the score from the previous game, actually. So I didn't notice that either.
Apologies. Yeah. Now, is that now updated?
It might take a moment. Not yet. I'm still seeing the final score from the previous game. Again,
I'm saving it in the drop folder as livegame.gcg.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully that will update in a moment.
Yeah, it's unusual that it hasn't, though. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ellie's rack was Outlier, and she has successfully played that in the only places it would have played. She did miss, however, playing the same 7 tiles in the same order around the N. Outliner would have been the double-double for 82. Maybe worth just taking a little bit longer to look at what your opponent's played, see if they give you something better than is already there. But she found the only 7 on the rack, and she got it down. Joseph, do we have a score update yet? Is this updating correctly?
No, it's still showing the final score from the previous game.
Okay, that's unusual.
Yeah.
We are in Stream ABSP, Python script, livegame.gcg, yeah?
I think so, but honestly, I don't remember off the top of my head. There's actually, I mean, to state the obvious, no one is actually watching this. So if you want to take a moment, and it doesn't matter if we don't speak. If not, I can try to do it myself. It's just been a few weeks. In the meantime, I'm keeping up with Quack on my end, so we can at least be on top of the game.
Is Rick Kennedy actually playing in this tournament as well?
Yes, he is, yeah.
Right, okay. So, I mean, this isn't going out live at the minute. People can watch it later. Is that the plan? Or?
That's correct. I think, yeah, I think let's just carry on commentating. We'll just have to ignore the score. But we're both seeing Quackle, so we know, so we can just treat it as a practice round, then we can probably speak to Rick in the interim. I'll send him a message right now so he knows when he next looks at his phone. In fact, I'll just help. Ruth can probably hear us. Ruth, after this game, we need to speak to Rick so that he can jump on and help Stuart with the live game. GCG, please. Ruth, I don't know whether you want to just put in the Jitsi that you've received that or WhatsApp me. Yeah, thank you, Ruth. Okay. Yeah, because Stuart, I could try, but I haven't done it in a while, so I don't want to mess around with it. Let's just let's carry on. We can see the score, so that's fine. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So 2-2 and 2-4-2. Now we are struggling to see Ellie's rack, and Ruth. Ruth, if there's any way we can see Ellie's rack, because it's just been knocked off center, so we're really getting half the. Okay.
All right.
So Max, Mike, then 35 points behind at the minute, 242 to 277. However, he has got a strong rack here, and Adieu takes the S for Dairies or Diaries, which will play down the right hand side here. He's going for Dairies. I can't see the remaining tiles now. I don't know again if this is a problem at my end. I don't have the remaining tiles, or
I think that's just related to the. That's just related to the GCG problem, I think. But we should be able to sort that in the interim. I don't think that will be a difficult fix.
It is interesting to note here that the Q and the J are still to come. Now, with Dairies or Diaries, you've got the option of either setting up a Q spot, but it's one that wouldn't take QI, which is what Mike has done, or setting up a potential J spot by playing Diaries instead.
Oh, the Q has gone actually with quota.
Q has gone, of course. So, in fact, yes, that makes, you're quite right, that makes it safer. My apologies. The J still to come then. That would have been a dangerous J spot if he'd played Diaries instead. So, Diaries looks like the correct play there.
And in fact, we do see Ellie sitting on a potential Z bomb there. So, yeah, Mike has avoided that well.
Yeah, absolutely. The J and the Z, yes. Yeah. This is so much harder to do when you haven't got the tile tracking in front of you as well.
Yeah.
Of course, the Z is still to come, and indeed she has it. So now she held there, and she did eventually challenge. Now we presume that she is, of course, challenging. And you're taking the S, not Diaries. She will be disappointed that the Z bomb spot isn't available from Diaries, but I wonder if Mike took that into account. You'd like to think he did, and that was a conscious choice. If he picks if he picked a vowel there, he would have had a lovely plink or plonk play down the side of Diaries for a massive score.
Yes.
Again, we can't quite see Ellie's rack, so okay, Ruthless types this is sharp. Okay, that's a big help. So she has a massive score here, and it is very, very difficult to spot. Diazo is 52. You would think that that's the best scoring spot, but there's an incredible play here down the side of Munas of Azlon, A-Z-L-O-N, would play parallel to the first 5 tiles of Munas for 63. Very, very hard to spot. Zo, Lobi, Eni, and Ni, as well as Am at the top. For 63, I think that is what you would call a forgivable miss.
Yes, absolutely. Diat so perfectly respectable here. This is a great game. This is really what we were missing in the first 3. This is back and forth, neck and neck. And
now, my understanding of the score at the minute, sorry, Joseph, is that they are absolutely dead level now. I'm wondering if Mike did. Is it 5-point penalty? It is, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so Mike would have got 5 extra points for Diaries, so let me just...
So I have it as Mike actually 5 points ahead as well.
Yeah, totally.
So I think fair to say Mike's worst, most challenging rack. So, well, maybe not so challenging. I don't know if this is quite a clear-cut exchange. He's considering plop.
Yeah, the place he really needs to spot is absolutely where he is at the minute. And if he's found... Okay, he's going for E-King. That is a perfectly valid option there. Pekin would have been better. P-E-K-I-N, or Pending, or a particularly obscure 5-letter word, Gepik, G-E-P-I-K. Lots of really obscure options to play through there, but those 2 vowels, the E and the I, certainly coming to Mike's rescue.
Yeah. Yeah, nicely done by Mike.
Tricky options for Ellie here. There's nothing really good with this rack. D-E-L-N-R-S-T. Quackle actually favours, unbelievably, sticking the L on Fovea for just dropping the L on Foveal Lax for 20. Actually, not a bad option here. Very hard to spot that. Or to think of that intuitively. But of course, the strength of that play comes from the D-E-N-R-S-T leave. Then again, it must be said, not many vowels left. So you'd really want a vowel pickup, and that's not a good play for vowels at all.
Yeah, other options involve burning that S now for Sned or Sled under Fovea. Putting an S in a nice prime spot on that triple lane. Yeah, in fact, all of Ellie's most scoring plays really involve burning that S. The only, 2 exceptions, you've got Newt through the W of More. Again, very hard to spot, making fixed. Or we've got Eld making deking, hooking Mike's previous play.
Yeah, the Quackle suggestions are absolutely all over the place here because it says Sned or Sled, certainly on the left-hand side. Its next best suggestion couldn't be more different. Playing Nod, L-O-N-O-D, just through the Ophobia for 6 points. Not even Lod, but Nod. And that's Quackle Championship player. And in fact, she's gone for Lod, which, I think is that's quite a remarkable choice, actually. I mean, it's purely on the strength of the rack leave, but it's actually a very solid play, and Quackle is giving it the nod of approval there. Giving the nod to Lod, and fair play, I'm now running a sim on Quackle, and Lod is coming up really, really nicely here.
Yeah. Yeah, very unintuitive play from Ellie. I don't think it's one I would have made, so yeah, very, very interesting, impressive play there. Mike exchanging, I believe that's the blank he's leaving, unless it's the light.
It is. Now, I didn't see what Mike had. Did you?
He had a couple of P's. I can't remember, to be honest. If you just do exchange 6, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't think he had any vowels, so almost certainly the right decision there.
Can we see now? If Ruth can tell us Ellie's rack, that would be great.
I see oiters, and then one more.
Yeah.
Is it Stonia? Is it? Oh, it's Stonia.
It is Stonia. Okay. Now, according to my selection, that can't be her rack because it contains letters she can't have. This is confusing. Okay.
Yeah, I've had the same message actually, which is very weird.
Okay, now why has that come up? It's because according to this, there shouldn't be an S left. But there is.
Huh. That's weird. Have you input the blank N for bathing?
Yeah. Now this is very strange.
Very weird. Very weird. Okay, so anyway, I'm sure that will become apparent soon, what's happened there. But meanwhile, we go to Mike. Yeah, Mike in a very strong position here, actually. If he finds any of his bingos here, Quackle's got him at about 94% up to win.
Yeah.
And that is hooking with Alod, which Ellie has just created. And of course, the strength of that play is it just completely kills the board. I mean, arguably, the Alod hook is essentially the only lane left other than that very weak face value lane through the T at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yes, it's pretty much a dead board after that.
Yeah, it's next bingo wins, really, because Mike is 4 points ahead. From what we can see of Ellie's rack, it's very strong. However, assuming Mike bingo's here, those letters aren't going to do Ellie much good at all, unfortunately.
No, she has pelters, but that's not going to help.
So Mike taking his time here, understandably. He's not even halfway through his clock yet.
Wow. Very curious choice by Mike here. I mean, he must know a lot. It's always been in the word list. Playing a bonus there would absolutely kill the board, but he's gone instead down the bottom with greatest.
Yeah.
Not the greatest option he had available, but it does the job. It only scores 60. He could have had 69 at the top and killed the board at the same time. So that is a miss. We have to point these things out. It is a miss. Mm-hmm. And it leaves Ellie with a playable bonus of her own, because one of the anagrams of pelters is respelt, and it plays with plod.
And
were
Mike
she to
has
get
emptied
down,
the bag. Yeah.
Right. So if Ellie were to spot respelt with plod, it wins the game, and Mike would kick himself. I have to say that is a poor miss to not play the play with a lot. That bonus line that Ellie now has available to win the game outright shouldn't be available.
Producer Ruth, if you could... Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was going to say, if you could flip the board for this absolutely vital play. Now, of course, watching Ellie play is unique because you can see reading the board, as it were. So we know that she's felt up at the top of Lod. In the moment, just needs to recall the P hook. I mean, I didn't even think of that. I was thinking only about the Alod hook, just with that being the most numerous hook for it, with the A. It is literally just do or die at this point. So
yeah, it's 100% dependent on the outcome of this particular play. You know, she needs to really take her time. She's got 11 minutes left. As a matter of interest, and I don't know this, how does Ellie know how much time she has left? Is she able to ask her opponent to tell her? Or?
That's correct, yeah. Although Ellie is a very fast player. Very, very fast. So it's probably only happened on one occasion I've ever played her where she's actually asked me.
Okay.
And even then, that was about with 4 or 5 minutes left. I wonder whether Mike has seen the potential on Ellie's rack and is just sitting there, fingers crossed.
I don't know. I presume that Mike tile tracks. He will be looking at it. It looks, unfortunately, as if Ellie is not taking the respelt and plod option. That was the one winning move. It was, as you say, do or die, all or nothing.
Yes, yeah. So
one wonders, is there a possibility of Mike being in trouble with this J? I haven't really looked yet at what his options are. Ellie takes pre, that still leaves.
Yeah, Quackle's saying Mike has only one guaranteed win here, and only 3 plays that are above 50%, and the rest are losses. So Ellie has given herself a chance still. Well, of course, always, even if it's a losing position, give your opponent the chance to make the mistake. That being said, Mike has found the single play that's 100%. Yeah. So he's just about pipped himself over the line. I don't know whether there's one been left in... Oh, no, there can't be one left in the bag because Ellie uses a tray. Weirdly, on Quackle, I'm seeing an unseen eye. I don't know how that could possibly happen.
It's really strange because there are 9 eyes on the board, so I don't understand what's happened here or how we can have an unseen eye. It seems
very strange.
The board that we're looking at on the screen is absolutely the same as the one on the board here. Yeah, there's something very odd going on with this. I don't understand at all.
So, according to Quackle, Ellie's best play here is Ute through the W.
Are you having
sled?
Are you having Ellie as having ELST?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Very, very peculiar there. Luckily, it doesn't affect the outcome of the analysis or the game.
No, I'm really confused. I think this is to do with forcing it to understand that Ellie had Stonier on her rack earlier on, and therefore it's insisting that there is an eye still to come when there isn't. But I really don't understand what happened there with the Quackle. It just doesn't make sense at all. Mike's best play here, ironically, is Plod or Clod at the top. The hook that Ellie should have made use of herself. He is 35 points ahead, according to my scoreboard anyway. So he's just going to squeak out the win here. Eking out a win, you might say.
Stuart, what experience do you have of playing on stream?
None whatsoever.
Ah, no, same.
absolutely none. When I played last World Championships, I played 2011, and I played a game against Nigel Richards where annotators were sitting next to us writing down our racks, and they were then broadcast onto a click-by-click play through the game system. Right. That is the closest I've come. I've not actually played on a camera. And the reason for that very simply is because I took 7 years off of competitive Scrabble and only came back last January. And even now, I only play the Northern Ireland Championship. So,
great. So Ellie just closing out the game here with a T. Let's see. Top score in play is a humble 3 points, making TO at the top there. Be hoping for more for your T.
Yeah. Yes, really, 3 is one of the lowest scoring outplays as possible, really. You'd expect to get more than that, but no, it is just, see? 2. That's the best option, TO. And she spots it. Unfortunately, she's played it in the right place next to the correct O. Well done, Ellie. The only 3-point outplay available. Not quite enough to win. Then Mike Willis wins this one 4-3-9 to 4-1-2.
Great.